appreciate you. All right? Everybody's welcome. Y'all, we're going to be doing a little billet work today on the D5 buggies. You guys can see I got the diffs back in here. They're all buttoned up.
What a trip. What's up, people? All right, so Muggy's back, and we're gonna well, you guys are gonna get ready to watch the video. So I wanted to do what's called a synopsis, which kind of explains what the video is about. And also in this video, I didn't get a chance to break in an engine. I didn't finish breaking in. You'll find out what engine it is. It's actually a buddy of mine's. He wanted me to break it in. I had a few issues with it. Just the engine was so tight, it kept eating up the, it kept locking up, and it would, it was chewing up the flywheel, the bump box wheel. So I just told him, get it motor bath. It's only about $50 from either RC Renew or Adam Drake. I get engines motor bath sometimes because I don't always have time to break them in, although I don't mind breaking them in. Okay, so anyway, you're mostly going to see, we're going to talk about a few things on this video. But I just want to give you a heads up, because on the video I mentioned that I was going to run the engine after I broke it in, and I never got around to it, so I just stopped on it. Plus, because it's, it's Easter, family came over, but I did give you guys about 10 minutes or so at the end of the video of some ripping of the 5B. Like, that thing hauls the mail. So we did just a quick rip job out in front of the pad. You're looking at a, oh, by the way, that, I didn't even know, that is called a D5 by Robin, basically an MCD knockoff. So it's a copy, they tried to copy the MCD RR5 buggy, but I mean, the body on the thing is ugly as sin, but it's got a few of the features that the MCD does. The biggest thing, it doesn't even have a center diff, so I don't know how that works. I mean, it'd be like having a lockout, which I don't run on my stuff. I just prefer to run heavy duty dip oil. But anyway, you guys can go look it up. I didn't know until I started watching this video. I watch Eastside RC every once in a while because he's into billet just like I am. So, but anyway, he's a decent guy. I don't agree with a lot of stuff that he does, but it's his channel. He can do what he wants. It's your channel. Do whatever you want. This is the same associated trugger that I have, RC8 T3.2. Subscriber, the same guy that owns the engine that I was breaking in, and I just told him that I'm not going to break it in just because it's too tight. So anyway, and I was going to buy that engine from him too, but I got so many engines right now. I mean, there's only certain engines that I'm looking for, mostly Novarasis right now. But anyway, make a long story short, I wanted to explain about the video you're going to watch, and I left out a couple things. This is his associated. He asked me to build it for him, or finish building it for him. But he had a few issues with it that I gotta go over it again. So, and then when he gets that engine back from getting motor bath, I'll probably put it in for him. Plus, I gotta drop his servos. And speaking of servos, I just picked up a couple of these. I haven't ran them. I usually run the ProTech 130s, which are under $100. These are the PTK 170 ProTechs. I like ProTech just because they're so quiet. These are about $150, so I picked up a couple of those. I don't know, maybe on my next build I'll put them in there. But anyway, we got more engines to break in, and enjoy the video. Hope everybody had a great Easter. I did, totally, spending it with my kids. And I think that's about it. So enjoy the video. It's a good wrenching video. It's a longer video, like I said, about 45 minutes or something like that. But anyway, alright. Oh, and we're going to break in the works engine. coming up. So Muggy's out. Peace.
Wow.
What up, Nitro Nation? Muggy is back by popular demand. So there's a few things that we are going to talk about today. There's going to be a few parts of this video. Man, I can't wait till Trump gets back in office, hopefully, and then we still got another 2 years of Sleepy Joe. But anyway, this video is going to be 3 parts. First part, we are breaking in. This is a brand new Ryan Mayfield Samurai. It's only a 3-port, unfortunately. I may, if I decide to get back into racing, I might use it to race. So I could either put it in my Techno, either I could put it in my Mugen, Truggy, any of the 10 whips that I have. But we are breaking this in. So I don't usually do educational or tutorial videos, just for the simple fact there's way more better people than me to do it. But I get been getting a lot of questions from a lot of newbies, and one of them is, how do you break in my engines? Now, I learned from a lot of different people, and a lot of different people do it different ways. Okay, there's JQ, there's Mr. Za. He's probably one of the first ones I learned it from. I think Rex Welch, RW Mods, God rest his soul. You know, and then obviously a lot of people do the motor baths, which, I don't know, I don't mind breaking them in, but sometimes if I just don't have the time, I'll send it in, and I'll eat most of the time. Adam Drake does it for $50, so I mean, it's not that much. But I just like to do it because I like to get a feel for the motor. It kind of, to me, takes the fun out of it when you don't break in your own engines. Not that I haven't broken in, you know, whatever, 30, 40 engines that I have now. But the first thing that I do, oh wait, let me get back into the other parts of this video. So we're going to break in the Mayfield. I'm not going to bore you with it. I'm just going to kind of explain how I break it in. I'm still cycling it. And when I do the first fire on it, it'll be in the video. So now the other thing is, I got a lot of people that ask me about, especially after the last video I did when I ran the 5B. They want to know, because some people, you don't have that much money into it. I got all the receipts for it. So I'm telling you, I spent between $6 and $7 grand for that thing. That's what I got into it. I mean, this thing alone, this MCD Ultimate, was $3 grand as a roller. It doesn't come with nothing. So then you got to figure the servos, the engine. By the way, we got the Taylor 35 in here. We'll talk a little bit about this. So we're going to do a little bit of nitro. I'm going to kind of give you a run through of how I break in my engines. And also, I had a lot of people that asked me about the Fly Sky. Now, I highly recommend this radio for I think I paid $200. Okay. I have 2 of them. That's my old one right there. This is the newer one. There's not a big difference. The only thing I did different with this is I did my own carbon fiber on it, which turned out decent. But anyway, so we'll talk a little bit about this. What else? We are going to run the 5B. I've got a little patch out here. I got family coming over in a little bit. I just want to give it a good rip. The last video I just fired up, and you know, I didn't really get a chance to run it on video. I don't usually like to run those Mad Max giant grips, which I highly recommend. I also had I got a lot of questions that I got asked, and whether it's on Messenger, which I do, or on my channel. Somebody asked me about the rims. Those are silverbacks. They take a minute to get. They're not that expensive, but by the time you pay the shipping, because they're coming from Great Britain, they're about $100. Mad Max tires, you're going to spend about $200 just for those. I like them because I really don't care for the mags. I think, to me personally, whether it's the ones you get from RC Max, I just don't like that style. When I got into fifth scale, I wanted my fifth scale to look as close to an 8 scale Nitro as possible. Okay, that's why I got the dish rims. I've got 2 sets of them. I'm going to get another set. I forgot to bring out my road tires, so I'm not going to get on it too much out here. I just want to rip it out here a little bit, open her up. I'm telling you, man, this OBR 34 reed case is probably one of the most strongest, fastest, most powerful small block reed case engines on the planet. And I've ran it against my Taylor 35. Taylor 35 will get it if I've dragged them, okay, in the same identical vehicle. The Taylor 35 will get the OBR for the first 10 feet. After that, the OBR 34 spanks this thing's ass. The whole power band just keeps pulling. And like I said, every time I run it, it gets stronger. This thing, it's weird. Maybe it's just me, but I've seen other people on video. It takes like tons of pulls on this thing, okay? The reason I haven't ran it yet is because I'm not going to run the 1242 on here, which is a good carburetor, but it just seems like it runs better on the OBR engines. I mean, it's made by OBR. It's a modified 1242. I've got like 3 of them, and I'm going to probably get another OBR engine. Maybe I might try one of the piston ports, and so I can use that carburetor then. So the reason I haven't ran this yet is because I just haven't had the time. Maybe I'll get to it today. I need to take this, the 1242 carburetor on here. I'm going to run the 990 Rooster Tail because I ran it on this engine before. And it just seems like the 35 likes it a lot better. But when you, like I said, this thing, it takes you a few pulls. That thing always starts on the first, no more than 3 pulls. Sometimes first, sometimes second, a lot. And you could let this thing sit. It has been sitting for probably over a year, and it fired up right away. It's the most reliable small bore you can get. And I don't know Bartolones because I don't own a Bartolone, but Bartolones, you know, they're supposed to be pretty good. Maybe I might get one of those in the future. So anyway, those are a few things we're going to talk about. So this video will probably be 45 minutes. Who knows? You know how my videos are. So anyway, also too, somebody hit me up. They said, how come you don't have a lot of subscribers? You know, when I got into this YouTube and I started Nitro, 10 years ago, I wasn't looking to get, I'm not looking to get 1,000 subscribers. I'm not looking to make a buck off it. I make an honest living. I've got, you know, money. I put 2 kids through college. So, but I got into it just because I wanted to share my passion for the hobby and, you know, maybe try to help somebody out. And I've helped plenty of people out. Maybe not on my, well, I got videos of it, yeah. But with my side gig that I do on Facebook, I help people out, you know, hey, can you break in my engine? Matter of fact, this engine is one of my subscribers. He said, can you break it in for me? So I pulled the Alpha that I just ran off of it, and I'm breaking this in for him. But he also wants to sell it to me. It's brand new. It's never been ran. The thing that I thought was really cool about these Mayfields, hold on a second. Sorry about that. But the thing I liked about these Mayfields is when you buy these Mayfields or the Samurais, they come in this cool wooden box. How cool is that? Red's clutch. I thought that was pretty cool. But that's not the reason that it's just, I thought that was cool. Anyway, okay, so let's get back to what we're talking about. So, what I learned and how I break in, we'll go over break-ins on 5th scale. See, somebody asked me about that. I'm trying not to be all over the place. I can be random. So, what I do, this is what you need. You need a temp gun, obviously. You need I use a heat gun. And before I even fire it up, set your piston bottom dead center. Always. Even when you're not running it. I can't stress that enough. I get so many people that come to me, hey, my engine, it won't turn over. Well, it's because you left the piston up inside of the sleeve, knucklehead. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you're not supposed to. That's how you ruin your stuff. But anyway, set it bottom dead center, and I do 4 heat cycles before I even fire it up. And what this does is it helps the metal seat. So when you go to fire it up and you're breaking in, it just makes it a little bit easier. Okay? I learned that from Mr. Zai. He's probably, I could say Mr. Zai is probably, and some of you are like, who's Mr. Zai? Somebody, you guys will figure it out. I don't really mention his name. He's kind of pretty much semi-retired now. And, I had no hard feelings for him. We had a kind of a fallout, a lot of disagreements, but it is what it is. So anyway, heat it up to 200 degrees. That's where you use your temp gun. Okay, first I do is I check to see what the temperature is before I even fire it up. Before I even heat it up. Usually 70, 75. Okay, heat it up to 200 degrees. Okay, as soon as you heat it up to 200 degrees, let it cool down. Okay, make sure again your piston's bottom dead center. And then as soon as it gets back down to the regular temperature, do that again. You want to do that, you can do it I usually do 4 to 5 times, depends. Then after that, then I heat it up again, okay, and to 200, and then I fire it up, okay. Now, once you're running it, you want to keep the temp gun on it, and make sure you have your heat gun or whatever you're using to heat it up. Blow dryer, you can use whatever. Make sure it stays around 200. Sometimes I've had engine builders tell me 250 is what they do it. I go between 240, okay? And I want to keep it at that temperature while it's running. Now I run four to 5 tanks through it, okay? And then once I do that, okay, so let's say after the first tank, don't let it run all the way out, because you let the fuel run all the way out, it's not good. Okay, but let it run down as low as possible. Okay, set the piston bottom dead center and let it cool down back to the regular temperature. Okay, fill it up again, heat it up again to 200, fire it up. Okay, you want to run it as rich. You should be having oil spit out of here. Because when you're breaking in an engine, you don't want it lean. You want to run it rich. Not too rich, because it won't stay running. You want to keep it idling. You want to keep it like at a low idle, medium idle. I usually keep it like not too low, but low. And then I just make sure I, keep the heat gun on it. Make sure it stays at 200, and I run it through. When I'm done, like I said, shut it down, okay? And let it cool down. Heat it up again, like I said, fire it back up, and keep it at 200. You want to do that at 4 to 5 times, okay? And 4 to 5 tanks. So that's how pretty much that's how I break in my nitro engines. And then once I start running them, I'm going to run another 4 to 5 tanks through it. Now the first time when you fire it up and you start running it, you don't want to get on it, okay? You just want to kind of slowly idle it up, slowly, cruise it around. You don't stab it. Everybody wants to punch it. Just cruise it around, and make sure that you go through a whole tank. Just bring it in, check it, run it around, okay? The next time you run it again, get it on a little more. You go quarter throttle, half throttle, 3/4 throttle, full throttle. So like I said, you're running about 4 more tanks to it. So I usually, by the time I end up breaking in an engine, I've gone through 8 to 9 tanks. Sometimes I'll do 10 tanks just for the hell of it. So once you've done all that, then the next time you run it, go ahead and get on it. I don't try to, when I'm still breaking them in, I don't try to scream it, but I get on it. We're going to open this thing up eventually, but I'm not going to go bore you with all the whole break-in process. I'm just going to, on this video, you're going to see the first fire of it, and then you're going to see when I'm able to get on it. So that'll be probably, today's Easter. Did I say Happy Easter? Happy Easter, everybody. Hope everybody's spending time with their family. Beautiful Southern California. We have, I think it's like 80 today. It's so warm as it's been in a while. We've just been getting pounded by so much rain in the last month. It's nice to... There's the pool. I bet that water's still freezing. We got a jacuzzi back there too, so... But anyway, so that's the first part of the video. Where are we at? I don't want... Like I said, this video is probably going to be about an hour. 45 minutes. Now we're at 15 minutes. We're cool. Okay, so let's now go over... Since we're doing break-ins... When I broke in these engines, the Taylor 35 and the OBR, I contacted, as far as the OBR, Dan, okay? And like, Mike will tell you a little bit differently as far as big bores. On a small bore with the Taylor 35 and this, I see guys, either they cycle all this fuel through it. When I told Dan about that, because that's how Mr. Zaw used to do it. Put it on a stand and let it idle all these tanks. Waste of fuel. You don't need to do that. So, and this is coming from an engine builder. Somebody that builds and modifies 5th scale engines. So I'm going to go by what he says, no matter what anybody else says on YouTube. I don't care if you got 15 years experience in 5th scale and whatever. You think I'm going to listen to that person, or I'm going to listen to an engineer? Well, if you're an idiot, you're going to listen to the person that's, you know, on social media or YouTube telling you whatever. I go by what the builders tell you. And Dan told me, when you break in a 5th scale, you fire it up, okay? I break it in with, I think, you don't have to do different mixtures. If you're going to run, I run 28 to 30 to 1, 927 Castrol, and I either run, depending on what I can get, either Sunoco fuel, which is good, or VP 101, non-ethanol race gas. Okay, and I'm, like I said, I'm running usually 28 to 30 to 1. That's what I run on all my 5th scales. Okay, fire it up. Okay, let it idle, let it get warmed up a little bit. Okay, and then put it on the ground and run it. Okay, now when you run it, you're only running it like three times, and then after that, you can go ahead and get on it. Okay, you run it, kind of cruise it around, don't, because especially if the engine's obviously brand new when you're breaking them in, so you run it around, for about 15-20 minutes or whatever, and then just cruising it, bring it in, turn it off, let it cool down for a minute or whatever. It's not like it's nitro, okay? 5th scale is completely different. I see people do nitro stuff on 5th scale, and that cracks me up. And I'm not some veteran or some guy that's been doing, I've only been doing nitro for, I don't know, 3-4 years, whatever. So I'm just telling you what the engine builders of these engines are telling me, okay? And like I said, I'm going to believe them no matter what anybody else says. Like I said, no disrespect. I'm not saying they don't know anything. But I see guys that, I've been doing it for 10, 15, actually, I don't care how long you've been doing it. I'm going off somebody that makes a living on building these things. Okay, so I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to listen to that guy. Okay, so anyway, after you do that, fire it back up again. Okay, let it warm up a little bit, because they're not going to cool down in 15 minutes or whatever, that much. Run it again. Maybe like half throttle, a little bit, you know, give it a little bit more juice, run it around, okay? Once you do that for another 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes, whatever, bring it in, do the same process. Once you do that at least 3 to 4 times, okay, after that, you're ready to go, man. I mean, I'm not going to scream it and pin the throttle, but that's it. You're done. That's the break-in process. You don't need to run your stuff around all day. I mean, I see guys do that. I laugh, man. And I have people that ask me, you know, how do you break in your fifth scales? And like I said, this is not coming from me. I'm not just saying this to say it. I'm going by what the engine builders are telling me. Okay? So, anyway, now what? Oh, yeah. We got to get this techno going. I don't know when I'm going to put it. You know, I got so many irons in the fire right now, it's not even funny. That body turned out pretty sick. Muggy Customs. The only problem is I got to get another body because this is, well, I just might put the Alpha back in here because that's what I did this body for, because the Alpha has that orange head. So the Fly Sky. And the best video that I can recommend, okay, is Elite RC. And yes, he is probably one of the most technical, and this is, like I said, this is not a shot at guys that have been doing it for a long time. I'm just telling you, this guy is like the mad scientist. And that's why I go by a lot of what he says. He drags fifth scales, he bashes fifth scales, he's got tons of them. So anyway, he recommended me this radio when I first got it. I have a Futaba. I mean, I have Sandmoss. I've got other radios too. The reason I like this radio is because, one, it comes with the battery. Now, you can go spend $500, $600 on a 7PX or a 10PX or whatever. These Nobles come with the battery. They come with they come with 2 receivers. I don't use the wire ones. I prefer to use the wireless. I like the wireless because you just don't have to have antennas. Okay, now these radios, they give you a 4,300 milliamp rechargeable battery. Futaba doesn't even you spend, what are the new 10PXs, 800 something ridiculous. They don't even give you a freaking battery. And these radios, these Fly Skies, are very comparable, and I even think they're better. Hold on a second. They're better than I think they're better than even the new Futaba 10PXs. They're more heavier weight. I mean, these things are solid. Okay. You can even recharge. You can put a USB in here, and you can charge your phone if you want. Okay. There's a built-in battery in these things that keeps it charged, so you don't even have. I mean, it's not going to last forever, but you don't even have to run this battery with it. You can just use it without it. But obviously, you turn this one on here, and then it just keeps this charged.
Welcome to Noble.
This thing talks to you. It's got a full-on touchscreen. You can run like, I don't know, like 10 vehicles on it or something ridiculous. I like it because if you're left-handed, you can swivel this all the way around. Okay, which is pretty cool. Oops. But yeah, so, and then if you leave this thing sitting, like you're not, you know, you leave it on or whatever, it'll tell you, it'll start beeping, remind you, hey, you left your radio on so you don't drain your battery. I mean, it's got all the bells and whistles and features that, you know, the more expensive radios have. I just like it because it's solid. It comes with a battery. The wireless receivers, if you want to buy them, Futaba receivers, Sandmoss, whatever, they're $100 or more for a freaking receiver. These, you can get like 3 of the wireless ones, which I use, for less than $100. I mean, dollar for dollar with everything that it has, it's as good or better than a high-end $700 or $800 radio. That's why I have two of them. Okay, I bought another one. This is the newer one. Then I have this one, which I use one of them. I think I have my fit scales on, and the other one I have a bunch of my nitros on. So, all right, so that's pretty much it. So stay tuned. Coming up, we'll be firing up the Mayfield for the first time. We'll start ripping it maybe. I don't know if I'm going to rip it today because I got family coming over, you know, for Easter and stuff. Coming over, and my parents, they went to one of my relatives, so I got the whole pad to my house. So I'm kind of babysitting, and then my kids are going to come over and we're going to hang out. I might go mountain biking today, I don't know. So, oh, the other thing. Let's go through this real quick, what I've got into this thing, and it won't take forever. Now, I paid $800 as a roller. Obviously, you can't get 5Bs anymore. They're discontinued, which is a shame. It's the only race kit, fit scale race kit that you build. Comes all in pieces, and you put it together. That's one of the biggest reasons I've got it. I'm not too much into RTRs, even though this is a badass RTR. This has everything. It has all the upgrades. You don't need to do nothing to that thing. But anyway, I replaced the chassis. If you look in there, this is a tailor-made chassis. And then what I did to it, let this thing up. Oops. What I did to it is I carbon fiber wrapped it because I don't want that billet to get all messed up. So anyway, get that thing on there. This thing's it weighs like 37 pounds. So when you buy the chassis, it comes with the tailor, front and rear, billet, bulkheads, diff cases, whatever you want to call them. Okay, comes with the billet sway bar. Okay, comes with the billet, front and rear, billet, shock towers. I bought also the Taylor servo saver front chassis brace. I've got the rear chassis brace. If you look in there, oopsie, I forgot the radio. See what I mean? This thing just beeped. Listen, hear that? Otherwise, you're draining your battery.
Shutting down.
Okay. Where are we at? Yeah, the rear hubs are Taylor billet. This thing has titanium hinge pins all the way around. Bottom and front and top. Okay. So I've got all the outers too. What else? Also this will be our engine. It's got everything. I mean, this thing is just badass. I love this thing. I paid about $2,000 for it. Then you gotta add in the Total Racing clutch housing, this whole piece, a little matte pipe. It's about $200. These are probably my favorite pipe. By the way, if anybody has the truck, shoot, hold on a minute. Be right back. Sorry about that, people. Nature was calling. Okay, so where are we at? Okay, so what else? RC modified center diff. Okay, this thing was over $100. These aren't the stock disc brakes. These are the lightened, thicker ones, which is, I changed that. I think this is RC modified too. Okay, dual servo holder. I run dual servos. A lot of people run singles. I prefer duals. It just handles way better. So these servos, JXs, highly recommend them. You can get 2 of them for like 120 bucks. When you want to go spend $100 on high techs or sav boxes, that's fine. I got sav boxes in that thing over there. So, what else? Carbon fiber rear mud guards. I did this carbon fiber wrap myself. These arms, these are not regular arms. These are, you guys can see, these are made by Turtle Racing. Okay, these things are like it's CNC machine, some kind of high strength polymer. Like, you're not going to break these things. And the reason I replaced the arms is because you guys remember or don't remember, I broke one. I jumped it and wasn't paying attention when I landed. I hit a pole. Just snapped that sucker off. So anyway, these things are $75 for the pair. So I spent $150 just on those. I also ran these, I think they're called Purchase. These are, I forgot who they're by, but they're billet. So yeah, I've got between $6 and $7 grand into it. The only thing that I haven't did or changed because I didn't feel I really needed it is the inner diff cups, the front and rear. They're the stock Losies. So yeah, this thing is just a one-off. You will never see another 5th scale, or they don't, like I said, they don't make them anymore. Race buggy like this. How does this compare to the MCD? I have a few people that have a MCD and they have a 5B. The MCD is more designed for racing, but when it comes to durability, the 5B is a lot more durable. That's what I was told by people that own both. So, I mean, the MCD is it's mostly designed for racing. It's not really designed for bashing. So, if you're going to get an MCD buggy, R5, better off racing it. Doesn't mean you can't bash it, but, I mean, they're designed to race. They're not very durable. This 5B is way more durable. But, from what Dan, he races a lot, Dan at OBR, and he goes, my 5Bs spank MCDs all the time, so, but, I don't know, maybe I might race this thing, maybe not. I haven't even got that thing on the track yet. I just got this thing because it's a work of art, man. I mean, this thing is, just look at all the aircraft aluminum. It's funny how people tell me, oh, I didn't get the Ultimate because those aluminum arms are heavier than the plastic. No, they're not. Look it up. Call me here, Bashir, the owner of Cardinal Racing. These arms are as light or lighter than the plastic, and they're way more durable. So, I mean, this is not, it's called the Ultimate for a reason. I got a big bore coming. I got 2 big bores coming in the next few months. I'm just using this so I can break the platform in. This pipe, I've heard it. It's too quiet. Like I said, Olamat and OBR, or not OBR, but Olamat and Taylor. I don't know about the buggy, but for this, they make, Taylor RC makes a pipe, and so does Olamat. So I'm definitely, when I get a chance, I'm going to get a Olamat pipe for it. But maybe not. That's just in case I want to run a small bore in it every once in a while. Obviously, if I'm going to race it, I can't run a big bore. I can't race a big bore. So, highly recommend the outerwears. Don't run it without the outerwears. I see people running without the outerwears. You're crazy. You want to get dirt in your engine, and that's fine. Don't listen to me. So anyway, that's it. Stay tuned. We'll be doing the first fire and the ripping of the Mayfield Samurai, and we're gonna definitely rip this thing. So that'll be coming up. And somebody asked me about, like, I think I was telling you guys about it. About the why don't I have a lot of subscribers. And remember, and I'll leave you with this, because I hear people talk out their ass all the time. YouTube doesn't give a rat's ass if you get 200 and 300 thumbs up. If you don't get views, you suck. And that's how you make your money. Views and how long they watch your video. Okay? Like somebody told me, if you're doing a good job or you have decent content or, you know, people will watch you. You don't need to beg. And people always beg. I've never begged for nothing. So, a lot of people are calling or asking me if I to do more videos. So, you know, I only got 1,500 subscribers and I average about 500 views. That's better than a lot of people. If you got 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers and you can't muster up 1,000 views, you suck. All right, so that's all I got. Muggy's out. Stay tuned. Like I said, there's going to be parts of this video. And enjoy. Peace out. What up, people? I told you we're going to make some noise because this neighborhood's too quiet. Do a little rip. I'm not going to do anything too crazy. We're going to open her up. And see what she's got. Last time we just, you know, idled her, let her ran a little bit, gave her a little bit. We're going to rip up and down the street real quick. So let me go put the body on. Put the GoPro on. Hold on. Make sure we can see what we're doing. Okay. let her eat. And that's only 3/4 throttle. I'm not holding it wide open. I'm too afraid around here with cars and everything. This thing is loud as hell. Alright, OBR power all day long, people. Let's give her one more roll. This thing is a beast. Woo! Well, OBR power, baby, all day long. She is a definite, whoops, bona fide ripper. So, and it's warm out today too, so you gotta watch these things when it gets hot. Yeah, this thing is a beast. I just get nervous when I run it around the streets because last thing I want to do is have a car pull around the corner, or, you know what I mean, or this thing just gets, when it gets ripping, this thing gets squirrely, man. So, alright. Well, that pipe is warm, I can feel it. Okay. All right. Well. I don't know what order it's going to be, but by now you've probably already seen the Mayfield. Whatchamacallit, the Ryan Mayfield Ninja. Broke it in. ran it a little bit. So either that part will be, you should have seen that already. If not, maybe just, I don't know what order I'm going to put it in. But whew, I get a rush. So anyway, all right, stay tuned. More coming from the Muggy, more Nitro, more fifth scale, couple big bores coming. Maybe a couple more Nitro engines. Definitely a new Nitro platform coming. I won't tell you what it is. I'll just tell you it's going to be a truggy. I haven't really decided yet. And yeah, so I think I'm going to try to find a different body for the MCD. I'm ordering another one. I highly recommend, well, if anybody has 5Bs, I mean, I don't see a lot of them, but people do. Highly recommend these Graphili bodies. They're a lot thicker and stronger. I think they're a lot more, there's a lot more breathing holes in them, so you don't have to cut a bunch of holes or anything like you do the 5B. And I think you can get them for about 150 bucks. If you look for a stock 5B body, you're going to pay about 250 bucks, which is ridiculous. So anyway, I got some new tires coming for this thing. Is it me, or does it seem like I need to adjust my camera? Seems like my front end bows a little bit too much. That ain't no big deal. All right, come out. Huh? Come here.